Matt, and in this video, me and Bridge are going to show you 10 ways to get your room pumped up for spring. The first tip I have is to put flowers all over your room. It'll just make it seem so much more livelier and just really more springy. Now, you could buy fake flowers like I have here, and they look really pretty. But if you want to get a bunch and you don't have the time and money to do so, you can just make these easy and really cute flowers out of tissue paper. That's right, tissue paper. So I'm going to show you how to make those, so let's go. Okay guys, so the materials you will need for the tissue paper flowers are tissue paper, of course. Now if you don't have all the colors of tissue paper that you would like, you can also use crepe paper. Crepe paper is basically just a different type of paper that has a different grain to it, like a different texture, so it'll give your flowers a different texture. You'll also need scissors and a pipe cleaner. So what you're going to want to do is take one of your sheets of tissue paper, and you're just going to cut out a few squares. So I'm going to make mine about the size of these. So I'm just going to cut 3 squares here. And you can do more than 3 squares. It depends how many layers you want your flower to have. The more layers, the more fluffy it'll be. So it's all according to your preference. I'm just going to do 3 to keep it simple for the tutorial. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. So, now that when you have all your squares, you're just going to stack them like that. And this should be a good place to mention that you can do different layers of different colors to really make your flowers pop. But the next step is you're just going to want to kind of accordion fold them, like so. Like that. And this is where you're going to attach your pipe cleaner as the stem. So mine's not that long, but I'm just going to make it work. And you're just going to tie it into the middle of this rectangle that we have here. Like that. And now you're going to determine the shape of your petals. So if you want your petals to be spiky, you're going to cut this like a triangle. And if you're going to want these to be curved like an actual flower, then you would just do a curve. And that's what I'm going to do. But you can look on Pinterest and Google images to see different types of flowers to get inspiration. I'm just doing it the simple way. Like so. Now the first thing to shape your flower is you're first just going to want to spread this up like this. Just pull it apart. Be gentle with it because it is tissue paper. It could tear easily. Tearing it won't be the end of the world since it will be hidden by the other parts of the flower, but just be gentle. I'm going to do that to both sides. That. And now you're going to peel each layer off of one another. And this is what's going to make it look really like a flower. So you're just going to peel it like that, kind of bunch it up in the center. Again, if you did more layers than me, then yours will look way more realistic. I just wanted to do it simple. So you're just going to do it like that. That was the first layer. You're going to do the second layer. And it can be tricky, so take your time with it. And like that. And you can use some tape just to hide. You don't have to use tape, but just to make it more secure in the center, just to bunch it up the layers a bit. I'm going to fix it up and make some more, and you guys will see how it looks in a pot with all of its other flower friends. But next up, Bridget's going to show you the next tip and DIY. Okay guys, so the next tip and DIY is to put fluffy stuff around your room. Putting fluffy stuff around your room will just make it way more springy, especially if you put pom-poms. So I'm going to show you how to make a bunny out of cotton balls. I'm going to show you how to make a bunny out of cotton balls. What you'll need for this craft is cotton, and you can tear a piece off for the tail, craft foam, scissors, and a hot glue gun. So you're going to take your 2 bigger cotton balls, and you could also use white pom-poms, and you're just going to squirt some right in the middle there.
and stick on the top, like that. Next, you can also add the tail right there. Just tear a piece off of another cotton ball and put it right there. Now you have your little tail. So now, you're going to fold your craft foam in half and make a bunny shape for a bunny ear shape. And round it. Like that. So now you can attach those to the head of your bunny. Like that. Now you're going to do the same thing for your pink craft foam, only you're going to need to make it a little bit smaller so it can fit inside the ear. Like that. And now you're just going to glue that inside your ears. And there you go. So now you're going to make the nose and the eyes. So first up, the eyes. And you're just going to want to make a tiny little circle out of your craft foam. Like that. And you're just going to make 2 of those. And now you can just attach them onto your head. About right there. And be very careful with this part. And lastly, you're just going to make your nose. So it's just going to be another circle out of your craft foam. And it's going to be a little bit flatter at the bottom. There. Yeah. I want my bunny to have a bigger nose. And there you go. Now you have your cute little cotton ball bunny. Next up, Nat's going to show you the next tip and DIY.
Okay guys, the next tip I have for you is to make your room have a color scheme like pastels or bright colors. These colors can really bring a room together and make it much more lively for spring. As you can see here, this little cardboard heart that we made in a previous video has pastel colors and is really nice to tie the room together. I'm going to show you how to make wall art that is pastel colored. And if you want to see how to make this heart, check out the video in the description box below. Let's go. Okay guys, so for this wall art, what you will need is a canvas. Now this isn't a canvas, as you can see. This is actually a piece of cardboard I painted white. You can use this, or if you have a canvas, that would be preferable. You're also going to need a paint palette, a sponge brush, and some different colors of pastel colored paint. So this is sort of an abstract painting. It's really self-explanatory. You're just going to take one of your colors. I'm just going to start mine off with pink. And you're just going to paint, start kind of a little bit down, and you're just going to do this. Like just a messy paint stroke. And you can add more paint as you go along. Just creating a guideline with the paint. Kind of like this. Like that. And you can thicken the paint strokes a little bit. This is really self-explanatory, and you can use tons of colors or just a few colors like I'm doing. And then once you want to move on to your next color, you just wipe it off your paintbrush, or if you want to be less messy and just get a cup of water, you can do that. But I think this makes for a nice transition when you use the next color, because it really blends in. But you're just going to continue like that. You can see, just add more. But again, it really depends on the colors that you want to use and how you want to go about this abstract painting. But I will be back once I'm finished, and I'll show you how it looks. Okay guys, I'm back, and here is the finished painting. I think it turned out really cute. As you can see, I transitioned from pink to purple to green like I planned. I put green at the bottom as well as some little dots there, and pink at the top with the little dots, and I just think it turned out all around just really cute. It's really nice wall art for your room, and Bridge is gonna come in with the next tip and DIY.
Okay guys, so for the next tip is to bring nature to your room. This will make it look more springy because spring is all about nature and when the leaves pop. So I'm going to show you how to make a nature-inspired frame. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you how to make the nature-inspired frame. What you'll need for this craft is a frame cut out of cardboard. I already cut mine out. A hot glue gun, sticks, a sponge brush or paintbrush, paint, the color of your choice, a paint palette, and scissors. So after you cut out your frame cutout, you're going to cut down your sticks down to whatever size you'd like and glue them on. And I'm going to be back once all the sticks are glued. So I am back, and now I have covered my entire cardboard frame, and I have added this so that it can stand and it's out of sticks as well. So now you can paint it. You can leave it the same color, or you can paint it and put a base coat of white just so it's more opaque. But I will be back once it's all painted. Okay guys, I am back, and this is the finished product. So I added a little flower just as decoration, and I painted it all green so it looks more springy because I feel like this is the perfect spring green. So you could do, this is very personalizable. You could do anything you want to decorate it, or you could just leave it plain. But next up, Nat's going to show you how to make, or the last tip and DIY.
Okay guys, the last tip of this video is to spruce up all your jars and containers in your room, whether that be jars and containers to hold pencils, paintbrushes, flowers, whatever you got to spruce up your jars and containers because it'll just make your room look so much more springier and livelier, and I'm going to show you how to spruce up your glass jars. Okay guys, so to spruce up your jars, the materials you will need is a sponge brush, a jar of course, some food coloring, some white glue, and a container to put all of this in, as well as something to cover your workspace because this might get a little bit messy. So the first thing you're going to do is take your white glue, and you're just going to put a bunch of it in a jar. Not too much, but not too little either. You're going to need a good amount to paint the whole jar. So just eyeball it for now, and you can always add more later on. I'm just going to put a little bit for now, but I'm going to add more as I go along. And you just leave that there. And this is why to cover your workspace is handy. And then you can choose the color of food coloring you want to use. So I think I'm going to go with some green. And you only need to add a couple drops to your mixture to make the sea glass appearance on your jar. So I'm just going to add a couple drops. That should be good. You don't want to make it too deep. It's all in your preference if you want it to be opaque or transparent or translucent. And now you're going to need something to mix it. I'm just going to mix with the bottom of this. And you can see the white glue makes it a lot lighter. So it's about even now. So I'm just going to wipe this here. And now you're going to take your sponge brush and just paint the entire jar with this mixture. And once it is dry, it'll have a sea glass appearance to it. And I will come back once it's all dry and nice, and I'll show you the finished glass. Guys, so I'm back, and the glue has dried, and as you can see, there's a very faint tint of green onto the jar, and that is the result of the glue drying clear, but the food coloring basically tints the glass. And again, if you want this to be more opaque, you can add more food coloring to make it more tinted, but I kind of like it this way. It adds like a subtle hint of color to the jar, and it really brings out that spring vibe in your room. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!